Yo, what's happening, people, and welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way. And with the Premier League season starting in 2 weeks today, it starts.
2 weeks too far, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I needed to be this weekend.
Needed to come back, but your listeners, you'll be glad to know that me and Michael concluded contract negotiations. He's here for another.
I'm re-upped.
At a costly price.
Extensions.
1 year signed on.
Second season vet. Talk to me now.
Yeah, and that's not the only transfer being made.
Yeah.
As you can see by the title of this episode, it is one player every Premier League club should sign. We will get into that, but before we get into that, Arsenal, along with many other teams, but Arsenal have been doing business in this window, and Calafiori through the door. Mikel Merino looks to be on his way. Where do you stand on those transfers?
Calafiori, I like a lot. Seems like a solid player to begin with. Seems like he's got all the fundamentals that Mikel needs to work with to produce a Ben White on the left hand side. If you understand what I'm saying,
I think Calafiori is going to be so necessary.
Yeah,
We're going to look back on this side because the way I'm seeing Zinchenko play,
yeah, Tomiyasu is already out.
And I've been a defender of Zinchenko, but I just don't know. I don't know if he can play left back.
What you've said this before about Zinchenko's first season not being terrible defensively.
Yeah.
And his second season, and now we're coming into the third season. I don't know where that's gone. Like, I don't know what, like, the drop off. Yeah, he was never the best defender in the world.
Yeah, never.
But now it's like any man can beat him anytime they want, with any skill.
I was thinking back to it in every game in Zinchenko's first season at Arsenal, like big away game, Zinchenko played.
Yeah.
Do you remember we went to Anfield and he was bossing St. James's, he was Tottenham. But now it just seems like Nottingham Forest winger will rip.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I was giving him time to like basically be like, yo, this summer, him and Jesus and Jesus as well. I don't know. They might
Pep,
be done
man.
now.
He's always a step ahead. He's always a step ahead.
Now. But that's not the point.
Yeah, that's not the point of this.
Calafiori, I think that's a good signing. I think he will predominantly be a left back, and we know what Tomiyasu is. I mean, he's already
injured.
So yeah, I think Calafiori is going to be a very important signing.
Yeah, I think everything about him, man, over 6 foot, seems like he's got decent athleticism, could be a runner, can obviously lock a guy up, can take on a physical battle, like. And I put a lot of stock in Arteta molding this guy the same way he's molded all these other guys to be top class defenders.
Yeah,
and
100%.
And I also do respect and rate a lot the impetus that Arteta puts on defense, man. Like, obviously, every club wants to play attacking football. Every club, every fan wants to see their club score goals, score great goals.
We know where he's got that from.
X, Y, and Z, exactly. But really, the reason we were only 2 points off Man City last season versus 4 points, 5 points off Man City the season before, X, Y, and Z, and the season's gone after that, is because our defense has gone 10x better almost every season. Every season, our defense has got 10x better, and we climb up the table every year.
Yeah.
So I obviously I hear the jokes on Twitter, when guys are like, dictator, all this kind of stuff. But I do definitely give him credit and respect for fixing up the defense, because as long as we're not conceding mad, sloppy, Arsenal used to concede. How many times, bro? How many times did we used to sit here? Well, not here, but like,
we've been quite good since we
yeah. Like, how many times did we speak about the sloppy goals that we would concede?
So
and like,
and there were still some of those last year.
Exactly.
That's still an Arsenal thing that they have this, but they're just very few and far between now.
Well, that's how it should be.
Because now it's like, if we concede, it's a sloppy goal.
But
then it was like the 3 that we've conceded are all sloppy goals.
I rate him, man, and I like the fact he's 22, 23.
Yeah. And
he's
Mikel
hungry.
Merino.
Yeah, and Mikel Merino. So this is an interesting one, man, because I don't think he's a bad player, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie to everybody and say that like I'm super gassed and like I think he's gonna like take us to the next level, because I had high hopes for the midfielder position.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be a big name, a Bruno G, a Frankie. I thought Arteta was gonna go into the transfer market and be like, to get that 1%, to get that 2% more, I need this player in midfield. But I'm also not going to sit here and say I think he's going to completely flop. And if Arteta has said, I think if they've looked at the entire market, yeah, and this has been the most consistent name, the most consistent rumor, then Arteta's definitely got a plan for him, and he definitely sees him fitting somewhere into this system.
Yeah.
And he's obviously tidy, bro. He's obviously a good player. He's obviously the profile that we're looking for.
I think that's the biggest point, is that his profile is what we need. Like that 6'8" hybrid can win duels, can make tackles, can play progressive passes. I like the profile. It's
Yeah.
just, what does it translate?
That's the big question. Does it translate? But another thing I want to say about the Mikel Merino transfer is I feel like I've been overly worried about the midfielder this year because, and I know people are getting onto Partey and da. But if we're adding Mikel Merino to the Partey Jorginho rotation,
Yeah, which is what we're doing,
then calm, because Jorginho is a top player still. He's got his benefits, his attributes, what he can do to the game, and Partey is not going to be the same Partey of 2 years ago.
Yeah,
but I still think in certain games Partey will put in a good performance, and then now you've got Mikel Merino as well. Yeah. So it's like when I look at it from that perspective, if he's only going to cost 30 mil, and he might only be here for 2 years, honestly. You know,
the price is massive.
Exactly.
A massive part of it.
Exactly.
Like you wanted the big name midfielder, which who knows, still time left in the window. Might go and get someone else, but for the price of £25 million or whatever to get Merino, I think it's smart business.
Yeah. So that's if I'm looking at it from that perspective of like, he's not going to come in to be the guy to play 38 games for us, and it's going to be Mikel Merino, Rice, Odegaard, for every single game of the season. That's then calm, because if he's going to,
I do also think he has the quality and the potential,
100%.
Understanding.
He's still the youngest,
and the football IQ for him to come in and him to kind of stake his claim, and it to kind of be like, yeah, okay, it's a Rice, Merino, Odegaard midfield wherever we go.
And I think another good thing about the potential of Mikel Merino is if he is coming to Arsenal under Arteta, I feel like he knows exactly what Arteta wants from him. That job, the job qualification, the job ID thing. He's
the profile.
Yeah, Arteta's already spoken to him in Spanish, and he's like, "Yo, I know what you want. I know what you
experience.
Yeah, you know, I know what you want. I know what you need from me. Yeah. I see the vision. I'm just gonna come here and execute."
And I think for our left hand side to have been fixed with Calafiori and potentially Merino, I think that will help Martinelli a lot in terms of outgoings.
Yeah,
sad day today.
That's very sad day today.
Very sad. Heartbroken, some might say.
Yeah.
Emile Smith-Rowe has left Arsenal. He's been there since the age of 10. He's gone to Fulham. And the first thing I want to say on this is I'm happy for Emile Smith-Rowe.
Yeah, I am too.
And I really, I haven't wanted a player to succeed leaving Arsenal this badly for a while. And like even more than Granit Xhaka.
Yeah,
because of the injury problems that Emile Smith-Rowe's had and stuff, I want him to go on
and have a good
career.
It's going to be bittersweet, even still, to see that. As much as I want that, it's going to be so bittersweet.
I don't need him getting like 15 and 10.
Which
I don't think he'll do.
I will not be able to live.
Yeah.
If Emile Smith-Rowe has a monster year.
But of all the people, I don't mind it. I really don't.
But that's the thing. You know what?
I like Emile Smith-Rowe.
It's interesting because the fan base under Arteta and Edu and like, don't you feel like we're a lot more mature? Because I feel like previously people would have lost their head. Like people are unhappy. But I think everybody.
I don't think that's the maturity of the fans. I think that's just where we are as a football club.
You think?
Yeah.
Because I think do
you remember last year when we lost to Fulham and West Ham and everyone said title over?
Yeah. On that kind of stuff, I agree. But like on some of the nuances in football, like people would have said, under no circumstances should we ever sell Smith-Rowe. You know, even if we have.
When we were in the dumps.
Yeah, but I don't even think when we were in the dumps. I feel like even when we was...
I think a lot of the Arsenal fans are on board with the sale because it's evident that there's not really a place for Smith-Rowe in this team.
And that's sort of my point. For Arsenal fans to put their head over their emotions.
True, yeah. To understand that.
Yeah, to understand that. And be like, sad, but yeah, it has to kind of happen.
It's true. But I do think it's easier to understand when you're doing well.
That is true.
You don't want to see an Emil Smith Rowe leave in lockdown when we're finishing eighth. Because then it will be meltdown. Like at this point, it's easier to, and it's not like Emil Smith Rowe's had a monster year or 2 monster years.
He's not played for a
2
while
years in a row. So
I think I said it on the pod a couple episodes ago that it is very tough to see a way in which Emil Smith Rowe gets into an Arteta team, unless he's like a left hand, like a winger.
Yeah,
unless he's doing the Martinelli job out there or something. Just because the attention to detail and the off the ball stuff that you need to do every day, every game, without question.
He's gonna have to do that though,
Marco Silva at Fulham. But
I think that's a good coach for him. Though.
But I think Marco Silva will hide him in the middle.
He'll allow him to be a bit of a luxury player.
He'll hide him in the middle. He'll get Wilby next to him. He'll get.
And when Smith Rowe gets tired, Andreas Pereira.
Exactly. Do you see Andreas Pereira saying leaving Man United was the best decision of my life? And that's what I want for Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
I want Smith Rowe to go and actually have a football career, play for a club, get loved by fans.
Similar sort of thing.
Get loved by fans. Have be that sort of quote, not mid-table, but that sounds like disrespectful. Be that like player for Fulham who, when we're banking on results, Fulham getting results, Smith Rowe's gonna turn up. You know.
Yeah.
And,
well, they got Man United. That was his debut at Old Trafford.
Talk to me, Emil.
If only.
But it also looks like it's kind of not killed him the move, but it looks like as much as we're shocked, it looks like he's also just as shocked that he's left Arsenal. And I know he himself probably wanted the move and pushed for the move more than
he said that in his statement.
Is it more than fans might know, but it still looks like he can't quite believe he's not wearing an Arsenal shirt.
Yeah, which is fair.
Which is fair, obviously, been there since he was 10.
Exactly, for so long. And I think for Emil Smith Rowe, all he probably would have wanted was to have been part of an Arsenal team that maybe wins the league. Or whatever. But you have a career. Your career is finite in football, and you have to make the most of it. So I respect it.
Yeah, and
I mean, even the academy graduates that went on the tour and whatever, Ethan Nwaneri, and Miles Lewis-Skelly, both of them look very serious. Nwaneri could definitely get Premier League minutes.
I want to see Nwaneri get Premier League minutes this season.
Yeah, I think he will. He looks like a very serious guy.
Like, I want to see him get Premier League minutes,
and he looks like an Arteta player as well. Same with Lewis-Skelly. Like, if you didn't know anything about Lewis-Skelly, and you'd maybe watch 1 or 2 games of him for the academy, he plays as like a 6 or an 8 in the academy. You would 100% say Arteta's going to play him left back. 100%. It's so obvious. When I saw him play in preseason, I was like, I should have seen this a mile off. and his line breaking passes, Zinchenko might be
wraps. He's already looking at
placement. 1v1 defensively, he looks all right. But look, that's enough on Arsenal, because obviously people are here to hear about the player that their club should sign. So we're gonna go through this. We'll start with the promoted teams, and then we'll just go through it in the order in which the teams finished in the Premier League last year. So starting with Southampton. Now, I've always said that at the bottom, if you can have a goal scorer,
I was literally.
You're halfway there.
I was literally just about to say this. At the bottom, obviously, you want to be tidy at the back. You want to be,
manager
compact.
has to coach a good defense.
Yeah, you want to be compact. You want to concede as little as you can, make it tough for opponents. But you're probably still going to ship goals. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're going to live and die by
your striker.
The goals that you score, your striker.
If you can't score goals, you will go down. Facts. 100%. Sheffield, Burnley, all of them. Norwich. If you can't score goals, you will go down. If Bournemouth, when they stay up, Solanke's bagging. Brentford, when they stay up, comfortably bagging. Whoever it is, your striker. So I've got Elijah Adebayo.
Yeah. That is
bagged goals at Luton last year.
Great.
I'm actually very surprised he hasn't had a move.
Shout.
Because I think he's quite clearly can bag goals in the Prem.
Bag goals in the Prem.
Can be a problem, can be a nuisance. I think if Southampton sign someone like him, they could be.
That is a great shot, because I actually had his partner, Clinton Morris.
Carl Morris, yeah. I think Adebayo's a bit better, though.
I do think he's a bit better, but I think Morris has a bit of the leadership that you might need. Like his head, true. When they're in the gutter, like I think Adebayo might be thinking, I think I'm better than Southampton. Like I might need a...
But he'd be moving from Championship to Prem.
Yeah, I know. But he'll be saying, like, I think I'm Prem level. I think
so going back goals then.
Carlton Morris will be saying, "I've been here before, boys. We only need one chance. We only need, he'll always say the right thing in the dressing room. He'll always try and he'll do the PR stuff. You know what it takes to play for this club.
But even Carl Morris got dropped for Adebayo.
It's true. That is true.
But yeah, having a striker that can score goals is vital. Which, although having said that, it might be a bit controversial for the next two promoted teams. But for Ipswich, this to me is very self-explanatory. I've gone Rob Holding. Go slip straight into the middle of a back three. Ipswich player back three. He can't get any minutes at Palace. We know Rob Holding. He's comfortable on the ball.
Yeah.
So if you play him in the middle of a back three, he can play passes. He can maybe switch it out. He can help you, and it's just a Premier League, a player with Premier League experience.
Yeah, I agree. He is a player with Premier League experience. He would do well in Ipswich. Like, he would be the senior figure that they should be able
if he
to.
went for $2.5 million to Palace,
to depend on.
He's got no minutes.
Yeah,
they should snap him up for $1 million.
And this is a bit harsh, but I just don't think there's much to do to save Ipswich. Like, I feel like that's.
Oh, you saying that now?
I feel like that's just nailed on. It would take a hell of a season, and it would take a hell of a season.
You're not on the Kieran McKenna train,
man. I don't know. And my signing for them is a bit of a weird one, and he's already gone somewhere else. But Højbjerg
would never go to Ipswich.
I just think
Højbjerg went to Marseille.
Yeah, no, he's done all right for himself, actually.
Yeah, he has done. How they Tottenham got 17 million? I've been telling Tottenham fans, man, you need to respect Daniel Levy. He's one of the best operators in football.
But the reason I'll go Højbjerg is just because, as much I agree that
they will need a midfield.
Yeah, man. And he's gonna need to do everything in there.
Just FYI, we've tried to make these realistic.
Yeah. Højbjerg's not that realistic.
Yeah, Højbjerg to Ipswich.
But I just think so little of Tottenham players.
Fair. Because there's definitely going to be names that I give later on that people are going to be like, that's just biased. But is what it is. But yeah, I think Holding could help him out. But Leicester.
I've got another weird one.
I've said to you how many times, don't come with Fass and Vestergaard.
Yeah.
Don't come with Fass and Vestergaard because you will go straight back down. Right, we know what those two players do in the Premier League. We know how easily they'll both get cooked when they have to defend channels. So I picked another Luton player, Teden Mengi, who I thought had a good season last year. I thought he was one of Luton's best centre backs. He's got pace. He can play in a back four if they want to play in a back four. Can play in a back three, and obviously probably within Leicester's budget.
Who's Leicester's manager? Is the Steve Cooper? Yeah. Is what you think he's gonna play for at the back?
Yeah, I think so. I think he has to, man. I don't want to see any of these promoted teams play.
I'm sorry, Leicester going right back now. Do you know why?
Leicester have the best chance.
No, they have a good team, but do you know what? I think to go from playing quote unquote, Maresca football, to now just go to three at the back, try and.
But at least he's not doing what Company did.
Yeah.
If anything, that's gonna work, right?
Yeah. That is true. It should provide, but I think the players, man, and you're right, because it is the exact opposite to what Company's done. But I think the players now, there has to be a happy medium. There has to be an in between, like certain games where this, certain games where that, or we're gonna try and do a little half press. Because I think for the players to be like, oh yeah, we play this progressive football.
You can still press with three at the back.
Yeah,
it'll just make you a bit more defensively solid.
So that's why I thought it was tough. And I was wondering who's Leicester's right back. It can't be. It can't be between Ricardo Pereira and who is that guy? James Justin.
Any Leicester fans watching this, let us know. But I think it is Ricardo Pereira or James.
Yeah,
I saw one game last year where Ricardo Pereira was playing in midfield. So I think maybe Maresca was doing that a bit. But
Ricardo Pereira, I used to think, yes, a good baller over there.
He used to be the best right back in the league.
Yeah,
he was on crud.
Well, I think they need to sign Jet Spence.
Yeah, that'd be a decent signing.
Because also, Jet Spence, I don't know what has happened to his career, man.
I'm just saying he's been impressive. He's not only impressed but he's impressed all the staff.
Jet Spence needs to go play, and he'll be in the Prem. A full season, Premier League football. What are you about? No one has seen that. Yeah, he was doing the things in the Championship 2 years ago. But now you sat on the bench on the reserves for a year. You need to play football, bro. So go to a newly promoted team, loan, full transfer, whatever it is. Ball, 38 games.
You don't think he's going to get that at Tottenham?
The thing is as
The
well,
return.
unfortunately, Pedro Porro is too instrumental to whatever Ange wants to do to ever drop him for Jed Spence.
It's true.
So
It's true. I think that I think that'd be, and again, I think that's reasonable. I think Leicester could buy him. But then moving on to the teams that stayed in the Premier League last year, Nottingham Forest. Now analysing Forest left back situation, they need someone. And again, I'm surprised this hasn't been done. And fair play to Luton, because I'm just dishing your players out here. But Alfie Doughty,
I was gonna say, okay, that makes sense.
Awoniyi, Chris Wood, set pieces. Doughty had the most assists for a defender in the league last year.
Yeah,
We how many times we came
It's
on this
been
podcast
proven.
and said Doughty's left foot is culture.
yeah. That makes sense.
Wing back system.
That does make sense. That actually does make a lot of sense. And you're right. Why haven't teams like snatched everybody from Luton that had a good year last year? But for Nottingham Forest, I also was gonna go for the left back, but I was gonna go for Kieran Tierney.
That's disrespectful.
Nah.
That's disrespectful. Come on,
nah. Kieran Tierney, to be fair,
Nottingham Forest.
Kieran Tierney's a good left back. He's a good left back, but he should be at Nottingham Forest. He should be squabbling for
Better than Nottingham Forest.
15th to 10th in the Premier League.
To be fair, with Tierney's injury problems, it does but no big club or top club is coming for him, right?
Can touch him, but Nottingham Forest can take the risk and still benefit. Because
True.
if Tierney does 15 games, 20 games, 18 good quality games for
He'll
Nottingham
get-
Forest,
He'll get moved to a proper team. I'm joking, Forest fans. I'm joking.
But
I think that's fair. But I mean, we know what kind of money Arsenal are demanding.
yeah, no. But for Kieran Tierney, I'm like,
Having said that, if Forest can splash out 34 on Elliot Anderson,
oh yeah, don't
bring the money for Tierney.
don't get me started. Unfortunately, with Tierney, he's one of the very few Arsenal players where it's like, I will take a loss, and I loved. I feel like I'm disrespect. I actually really like Tierney, but I'll take a loss for him. Like I would take a 10 to 12, 15.
You have to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Who's gonna pay more than
It's true.
25? Come on. But Brentford.
That's funny.
Brentford. Now, I have been watching, or I did watch Copa America quite a few games. Loved
were
the Copa
saying.
America games.
Yeah.
And I've already told Michael about this guy off air, but Nicolas de la Cruz. This, when I tell you, because the guys watching might not know this guy, he plays for Flamengo in Brazil. He's like 27. He screams Brentford. When I watch him play, he screams Brentford. He kind of plays as a 10 for Uruguay, but he's ratting around. He can play as like an 8. He can even play deep. And for Brentford's midfield in a 3 at the back system for Thomas Frank, I think he'd be perfect.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that. But I feel like he might have too much, like almost flair about him.
But he's at Flamengo and he's 27.
Yeah, it's true. And London is, I feel like, the only place Brazilians can come to.
Well, he's Uruguayan. But
Sorry,
even so,
London is the only place South Americans, Uruguayans can come to. I say that there's a lot of South Americans actually all over this country.
if they're not going to be at a big club,
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be at a big club, or almost have a franchise on your back, yeah, the way Cunha and these guys have for Wolves.
Willian didn't want to leave West London. He came to North London and hated it
because it's tough, man. Every day in South America, in Brazil, and now
Andreas Pereira, guy we mentioned, left United straight to London.
I've said this before though. Fulham is the best gig in football.
Yeah, 100%.
Fulham is the best gig in
Whilst
football.
Marco Silva's there,
Yeah.
because top coach,
stay up
on the seaside.
We're gonna stay up. We're gonna get paid every week, and our fans, they only really expect us to win a third of the games that we're
Enough to stay up.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah, perfect.
Brentford. I feel like Brentford, man, they need a secondary goal scorer. Yes, Tony's been the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Buemo, cold, injured last season, but cold. But
the third guy,
that Kevin Sade guy,
no,
Wissa, baller. But that Kevin Sade guy, he's not really pulled up any trees.
The funny thing about Brentford is that they actually signed a striker, Igor Thiago, and he did his meniscus in pre-season.
No.
So he's out for 3 months. I think they spent like 30 million on him or something. So it's quite painful for Brentford fans. Painful. But
I shouldn't even be laughing. That's actually it happened to us, but like,
yeah.
but
Happened to Timber, but
yeah, I feel like he doesn't even necessarily need to be a striker, but he needs to be a 9-10.
yeah, I think a number 10 is like, because as much as we like Norgard, Janel,
Yeah, exactly,
Jensen
exactly.
as individual players, come on, Thomas Frank, get some creativity in there.
Yeah, yeah, and they need somebody who can contribute with assists and goals. You can put on a plate for Wissa.
That's why I thought Nicholas De La Cruz was perfect.
Yeah, you know what, man? I've talked myself into it.
Yeah.
I've actually talked myself into
Any
it.
Premier League clubs who happen to watch this, I could do your scouting for you.
But I think I'm gonna go with Reece Nelson.
For Brentford,
Yeah, for Brentford.
That wing back system.
Yeah, but I'd actually play him inside.
Not what as a. To be fair, Thomas Frank does like to play a forward at back sometimes.
I play him I would play him as like he would be on the left hand side, cutting in as like an inside left. I sound like a Twitter tactical, but inside left hand type of thing, rather than like a full blown out and out, just bombing up and down. Because I think for Brentford, the way Wissa and these guys,
Reece hanging it up for Tony.
The way they love to make selfless runs. Wissa will just drag the guy into the channel for you, and then there will be that space where Reece just needs to burst open for 10 yards. Show pace
and the other,
for 10 yards.
To what you said about Smith Rowe, Reece, almost kind of, you look at it and he might never have all the facilities to be an Arteta player.
Yeah.
Because of the same kind of quote-unquote luxury player tax. Not that he's a luxury player, he'll do his job and whatever, but I think at Brentford, he can be allowed to do that. I think Thomas Frank, again, like similar to Marco Silva, could build around him. But I think Brentford could be a good move for him. I do have Reece Nelson on my list, but I am for another club.
Is it?
So I'll save that.
And I think, look, stays in London and moves to the other side. Brentford have
basically
15.
Fulham.
Brentford have 10-15 mil.
More relegation.
Yeah.
But yeah, Everton, Sean Dyche. This was a no-brainer for me without Weghorst. Played for Sean Dyche before at Burnley, bagged goals, big man, looks like a Dyche striker, can press, can do the hard yards. It's a no-brainer without Weghorst. He's still a Burnley player. Calvert-Lewin's not going to be fit.
That is true.
The one thing, because immediately when I thought of Everton, I was like, yeah, they need to sign a striker because Beto, Chamiti, all these guys allow it.
Beto,
Calvert-Lewin's getting injured.
Funny.
And the last thing you want, I'd rather, if I was an Everton fan, I'd rather sign no striker than a Scamacca type striker who's going to play Sean Dyche football. So I landed on Wout Weghorst.
I think Everton, though, they need to replace Andre Onana. And they need to do it as soon as possible. But Calvin Phillips. Yes, that could be good. Calvin Phillips.
That could be a good
one. All right, I'm actually not really meant to play at the top half of the table.
Yeah, but going from Man City to Everton.
Yeah, it's nuts. But he's got, look, that nothing can be worse than the 6 months at West Ham. Nothing. Like
relegation with Everton.
At
least at West Ham, he was probably getting paid his Man City wage.
Yeah, no, he was. But the thing about the West Ham thing was, it was like, all right, you might not be able to play for the top 4 clubs, but maybe you could do, 10 to 6.
Yeah. Now you have to drop.
And every time you go on the pitch, West Ham would immediately start to lose. They'd be in winning positions.
Penalty,
They'd immediately start to lose. So now it's like, all right, you might not be able to do 10 to 6, bro. You might need to be doing 15 to 10.
Yeah, I think that could be a good one.
And they need to replace the 6 in Andre Onana. Yeah. And he knows football down there. They're going to sit deep. I just need to get on the ball, look up and find a runner.
Yeah.
Ping.
Yeah.
And he definitely needs a move from City.
Yeah.
And Everton just got 50 mil for Andre.
Again, that's where Fulham's the dream gig.
Yeah. Yo, I can't tell you. I'd be clamoring if I was a football player.
I'd be telling my agent.
I'd be clamoring.
Get me there. Okay, Wolves now. Again, I've picked a Copa America player. Played for Colombia. Again, mentioned him to you off air. Left back, Johan Mojica. Plays in La Liga. And I called him the left-sided Kyle Walker. Monster. 1v1, pace, power, strength, end product. He's playing in La Liga, and I think for Wolves, that's a doable.
It's a doable
transfer.
job. It's a doable gig.
And we know Ait Nouri's not a left back.
Yeah. That much we do know.
So
That much we do know. I think they do need a left back. I agree with you on that. But I think Wolves really need a top quality centre back, or a decent quality centre back.
having lost Max Kilman as well.
Yeah, exactly. Having lost Max Kilman, the difficulty with Wolves though is like
the financial situation.
Yes, but I like you think Wolves, and my mind goes to like Nuno and like the football that Nuno plays, or just the area of Wolverhampton and
Bruno Lage.
Yeah, exactly. But I think to play for Gary O'Neill, you're gonna need to be a bit more than just like the head the ball away, kick the ball away.
They've already got Craig Dawson.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's also another reason why they need another centre back. How many seasons can he do? So
shout out Craig Dawson. Though,
yeah,
he gets it done.
In my mind, I'm like, maybe someone like, I was gonna say Jacob Zuma. It's not Jacob. Kurt Zuma, but he needs to be more on the ball than Kurt Zuma. I feel like.
And I don't think Kurt Zuma would
move down from West Ham. But I also feel like West Ham needs to move on from Kurt Zuma.
Zuma's alright, man.
He's alright.
Zuma's alright.
Zuma is
Let's
still
not act like West Ham or some big team.
No, Zuma is still 100% a Premier League footballer. 100%.
West Ham level. Max Kilman hasn't been signed to replace Zuma.
Uncle Ogbonna?
Could be good.
Nah, not for Wolves. Gary O'Neill.
But again, Ogbonna, like, if he's not good enough for West Ham and Wolves,
I think Rob Holding should go to Wolves.
No, you want Wolves to go down.
Do you remember when we thought Rob Holding was good on the ball? That's what. Remember Arsenal.
That's why he should be at Ipswich.
Nah.
Protected in a back three.
But the thing about the Ipswich is there's actually too much defending now. That's being relied on Rob Holding.
Yeah, but
he's good at the 50-50 game.
When Gary O'Neill decides, okay, we're playing Leicester today.
Yeah, push, press,
high press, go. And but Ipswich every game deep block.
You ask
Rob Holding, he's gonna have people next to him.
You ask Rob to be the aggressor, step into midfield type of thing, go clatter the ankles, make sure he doesn't take you on the half turn, and then you ask Dawson drop 50 yards, 60 yards, clean up whatever Rob hasn't.
Holding and Dawson, come on, man. You want Gary O'Neill to fail.
I believe there's a redemption arc for Rob
at Ipswich. It's there for him. He's not getting any minutes at Palace. Ipswich, it's like the Calvin Phillips thing. You gone West Ham, it's not worked. So now,
it's
blocked down.
That's a good point.
Fulham. Now, you spoke about it being the dream gig for a 30-year-old who we know has still got the quality. Laporte
to Fulham.
That's what I've gone with.
Laporte can still play at top level.
He could. I checked his age today. He's 30.
Laporte can still be playing top 4 football.
But would a top 4 club buy him?
A top 4 club wouldn't buy him
because of his age.
Because of 2 years in Saudi.
But we saw the Euros.
Top. But I feel like Premier League, they would be like,
but Fulham, and I think Laporte, you probably won't take too much to prime away from Saudi. And if he's going to come anywhere in the Prem that's not a big team, we Fulham.
No, it does look good. He would love
Silva.
it. Laporte would love it. In terms of like,
I think Laporte would ball.
Yeah, come to Fulham once again in London. I'm earning 100k a week, maybe 130k a week, whatever it's going to be. Play week in, week out, but and they've lost Adebayo.
Yeah,
to be fair,
and it can't be Tim Ream.
Yeah, it can't be Tim Ream. But I also don't think Tim Ream can have another season like he did last year.
Calvin Bassey and Laporte, Robinson and Castagna. It could work.
I would say
Marco Silva wanting to play out from the back.
I would say Fulham need to sign Callum Wilson.
You're a big Muniz fan.
I'm a huge Muniz fan.
Yeah.
But I knew that Muniz was not. I knew what it was at the time.
Jimenez as well.
Nah, come on. Jimenez is dead and buried now. But I knew Muniz, if Muniz keeps this up, It's the biggest
He's
revelation
currently
of
in
this.
my FPL team.
Don't get him out.
Man
But-
United away.
Newcastle can't kid themselves.
Yeah, it's true.
Callum Wilson's a good player, yes. Don't get it twisted. But if Newcastle want to break upwards, you can't be relying on an aging striker, older striker. Obviously, you got Isak now. Callum Wilson is probably thinking, I might have a year, 2 years
Yeah,
left at the
he's
top.
had his injury problems.
He's had his injury
Yeah.
problems. He probably is also thinking, I just kind of want to play as many games as I can in the Premier League whilst I'm here, get the accolades, get 100 goals or whatever he has left, 150 goals, whatever.
And one
And-
thing I always say about Callum Wilson, he's a bags man.
And
Serial bags
Marco Silva with
Yeah.
Taylor, like,
man.
he would get everybody else to slide side to side, side to side. And he'll tailor the game to create this one chance
Yeah.
for Callum Wilson to
And he'll
take it.
take it.
Yeah, and he'll take it.
Yeah, I think that's a good signing. To be fair, my one thing is, if Newcastle don't have a backup striker,
Yeah, will they let him go?
and you know Isak's probably gonna get injured at some point.
Oh, I do hear that, but I think Newcastle should come to a point where they sign a winger or a striker maybe, but they should sign another goal scoring forward because Miguel Almiron is not doing the numbers.
No, he's on his way out.
Yeah,
He's
and then
on-
you should have Isak as your number one guy, and if Isak goes down, I wouldn't do this for like huge extended periods of games, but I'm not mad at Anthony Gordon in the false line,
true.
especially
Eddie Howe did that last year.
especially if you've got two other wingers
Harvey Barnes.
that can be fluid. Like it can rotate, it can rotate, it can
Baker
rotate.
Murphy.
Exactly. You can
Yeah,
rotate
yeah,
him
yeah.
around, so it's not that each centre back is thinking, oh yeah, calm, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
type of
And
thing.
Anthony Gordon played well there. And yeah, I think more importantly for Fulham, rather than Newcastle letting him go, that would be an unbelievable signing.
Prem proven, he's got the experience you need to stay
You know,
up.
if Callum Wilson plays 30 games, he'll score 15 goals.
Yeah.
Probably.
And because I would have saved him for one of the bottom three clubs, but I think Callum
He's better than
exactly. He's thinking to himself, I'm not going to move from Newcastle now to fight relegation.
Yeah.
But the Fulham gig, yeah, calm.
We know that's priceless. In 12th place last year, Bournemouth. Obviously Iraola. So I had to take into account the kind of football Iraola wants to play. And I know Bournemouth need a right back. Adam Smith, he's aging. He's not that guy. Max Aarons doesn't quite seem to be able to cut it and get in the team and hold a place down. So I've gone with 1/4, the Tottenham reject.
1/4
The Tottenham reject from Villarreal. Iraola, sweet talking, come to the seaside, play at Bournemouth. He can come inside, he can invert, he can play centre back.
Yeah,
it makes
multifunctional. He's done some time in Spain, so he
Yeah.
should know the tiki taka stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you on that. That's not a bad shout. I actually probably should have said Kieran Tierney for Bournemouth. That should have been a nail done. But actually, really have done the
Milos
Iraola.
Kerkez.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, he's not meant to me. But
Yeah, maybe Tierney moves to left centre back.
But yo, Tierney, I've got Tierney on my list, but I have him for a club a lot higher up than this.
Yo, Tierney, I don't know. What, do you know what?
we'll
he's
get there. We'll
not-
get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
'Cause we're gonna talk about it.
All right. Bournemouth.
Yeah, go on.
You know, it's actually tough to suggest because I feel like Iraola did such a good job of getting more out of the sum of his parts. So it's like
Like I was looking at the Bournemouth team and I thought, do they need a winger? And I got Semenyo,
yeah, Clivert.
Tavernier, Clivert, Sinistera.
Mm,
Do they need a midfielder? Christie, Cook, Billing. They were all cooking last year. Alex Scott.
mm.
You're right. Iraola did a good job last year.
Yeah, but like when you mention those names, I'm like,
In midfield, they could potentially get.
They need-
Yeah,
a little something in midfield.
they could. Yeah.
All right, a midfielder that I think would be good for Bournemouth.
Or could be any league as well. Anyone you've seen in Serie A.
Guendouzi. Weston McKennie, bring him back.
Weston McKennie.
Bring Weston McKennie
They've
back.
got Tyler Adams. That's it.
Oh,
got
they
Tyler
did get Tyler.
Adams, yeah.
Oh, so Weston McKennie 100% needs to come in. Get the bros back together. Run around in there.
Can't wait to see that interview.
run around in there, do a shift.
Well,
High five.
this guy, who I'm gonna say he might have been your guy for Bournemouth, but for Brighton, I've gone a cult hero, Coop Miners.
Yo. Yo.
We saw what he did at Anfield. We saw the way he bopped to them, absolutely dominated that midfield, and I think Brighton could be a good move.
Yeah.
But this was before I saw that he was in talks for like a 40 million move to Juve, which probably makes it unrealistic. But Coop Miners deserves a mention.
For Brighton, I'm gonna have to say Pascal Gross. You need to get him back immediately. Immediately. Or you literally need to wait until his kid turns about 16 and just push him into the first team. just
But
push
you remember when De Zerbi said, I need more Gross brothers?
Yeah. Where's the family? But literally,
yeah, it's true.
I think Pascal is like Brighton's best ever player.
Because I've already got Pascal as an MVP. Because we're gonna give him his time.
His time, his love.
Yeah.
But I'm deadly serious, and I know he's 33 and he's just gone to Borussia Dortmund, but I can't tell you how instrumental Pascal Gross was to the Brighton team and how much they need a player like
Pascal
him.
Gross was one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that he's not going to be in the Premier League anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, isn't it? It's
But,
kind of sad.
Yeah, another midfielder that you think Brighton might do all right with?
We've just spoken about this, and he won't leave Fulham, but I think with Smith Rowe just joining Fulham, if Brighton could get Andreas Pereira, it would be.
I think that would be a good signing.
It would be like for like ish, in terms of at least creativity in midfield. To kind of help them, because somebody needs to lay it on a plate for João Pedro and Welbeck and Evan Ferguson and
because now without Pascal Gross, I think Lallana left last year.
And the person who's going to be doing it, he needs to be like almost a 2-touch player. He needs to just see the picture, play the ball.
Yeah. I think that's a good one. 10th place last year was Crystal Palace, and this is where I had Reiss Nelson.
Oh, you wanted to go to Palace?
I think under Glasner now, if their manager was still Roy Hodgson, I would have put him for Brighton or something. Like under Glasner now, I think he could ball out there. And from what I've seen of Reiss in pre-season, I'm almost thinking maybe we should keep this guy.
You think?
But Reiss is. I think of like the Reiss, Eddie, and Emil Smith Rowe, who are the 3 hair lane guys that are potentially leaving Arsenal this summer. I think Reiss could potentially have the best career. And I think a move to Palace would make sense.
I was gonna say Eddie. I really wanted Palace to get Eddie.
I've also got Eddie on my list.
Hi, West Ham.
Yes. Well, so we may as well link these in together because in 9th place last year was West Ham, and I've been telling you since May.
Yeah. This should be nailed on.
How this transfer hasn't happened yet. Even if they want Fulkrug, get Eddie as well.
That's my thing. That's my thing about Crystal Palace. Is because you have Mateta who might stay, he might go wherever, but even if he does stay, I think the different options you have from the Mateta Eddie partnership, not partnership, but like duo, like whether it's Mateta playing 70, Eddie playing 30. And vice versa type of thing. That is Crystal Palace. They've
honestly, any one of these teams, I could have put Eddie. Eddie would be a great signing for all the teams we've mentioned.
And I'm putting him at Crystal Palace more than West Ham, just because I hate West Ham and I kind of want to see Eddie do well. And I know if he does well at Crystal Palace, it's less likely to affect my season.
True, but I haven't done this in the point of view of like
affect the season.
Yeah. I just think West Ham for at least 3-4 years have needed a striker. It's been Antonio. Even when they had Scamacca, they still needed a striker.
Yeah, Danny Ings, let's be serious.
Danny Ings. They need someone, and Eddie at the age of 24 could go in there and be. And one thing is that Eddie isn't appreciated the way I think he should be appreciated. Because if you mention to a West Ham fan that they should sign Eddie, and
they're laughing in your face,
to banter them, they think I'm taking the piss.
Do you know what? Arsenal fans do such a good job of bantering their own players that other fans believe they're not a serious footballer. Because West Ham should not be talking down on Eddie.
But Eddie, I'll talk about Eddie, maybe not on the same level because he hasn't proved it as much, but I see Eddie's trajectory as a footballer the exact same as Callum Wilson.
Yeah.
Exact same. Bagsman. Serial batsman. Will score goals. Will
That's
get
not
the
that's not a
tap
bad
ins, get
shout
the
at
goals.
all.
Yeah, I
That's not a
see
bad
his
shout
career
at all.
trajectory similar to that. And West Ham, and also where Eddie's potentially even better than Callum Wilson at is his hold up play.
Yeah.
Like that's not to say it's top level, but it's very good.
Also, I mean, this might be all strikers, but what is so annoying about Eddie is like there's chances that he misses by whiskers.
Yeah.
It might
He's
hit
done
both.
everything.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like if he goes to a club and he gets a run of games and those start going in, that I give you 100%. You know that Callum Wilson stuff. You know because there's chances that Eddie misses and it is by a whisker. Do you remember West Ham though? West Ham need a new right back because Soufal is done.
Wan-Bissaka rumors. You on board with that?
That's exactly where I was going.
Yep.
Needs to happen. Lock that in. Soufal, you did your thing here. I'm not gonna lie. Like for a guy at the age of 29 when he came or whatever, from the Czech Republic.
Yo, if they can sign Wan-Bissaka for 15 million, that could be one of the best. When we do our top 10 summer signings this year,
already be there.
Wan-Bissaka could be on that.
Slap that up.
For one of the best 1v1 guys at West Ham.
You need
100%,
that.
100%. But yeah, and just quickly, lastly, on Reece going to at Palace, I think on that left side in that new system, supplying Mateta, having guys behind him, I think Reece can ball. I think Reece could become, and I've said this before, I think Reece is the type of player Reece is who everyone thought Jadon Sancho was.
Well, you know what? Reece, and I said this earlier, Reece coming through the academy had the highest stocks of anybody I've ever seen, ever. All the pros, all the analysts, all of his peers were saying, yo, Reece, the things I've seen Reece do on a football pitch, I thought, man, we have one here. Like, we have got it.
Yeah. All right, we got sorted.
Yeah. And I don't know, for whatever reason, it's just not materialized. But I think Reece, the stakes are too high at Arsenal. Like, we're at a stage now where it's like, yo, if you don't take this chance, Reece, you're going to lose. Like, we're going to lose the title. And Reece needs to be at a club where, like, there just isn't that pressure. He can play minutes.
Even had his, like, build-up
Exactly.
And he's, like, 24
and now
23.
And the game, so Reece needs to just play hella minutes, bro. Get that confidence. Be brave. Get that confidence. And then I agree with you.
Now, for anyone who has forgotten, in 8th place last season was Man United. They did finish 8th. And for Manchester United, there's only one name I could put for this. I think no matter what it costs, they have to pay. They have to get this deal done, because this guy is the player that Manchester United need. Pay whatever it takes. Jared Branthwaite.
Yeah.
Pay 70 million for him.
I was also going to go for a centre back.
Pay 80 million for him. Bring him to Man United. Please.
I was going to go for a centre back. I think Laporte, but he can't go Man United because of the Man City links. But Man United need a top quality centre back that's going to play 30 games.
Jared Branthwaite.
I like Branthwaite, and he should go Man United. The only reason I'm hesitant is because...
And they should pay 80 million for him.
The only reason I'm hesitant is because, the expectation on Branthwaite to save them will be huge. And Branthwaite has just come into this thing. He's not done the messy changing room rumors, let alone
this transfer will definitely fail.
Let alone all right, this week we're deep block, this week we're pressing, we're up the pitch. You know, this week you've got,
taking on a Champions League info.
Like he's got to do all of that and then do with the media pressure and the constant leaks that Man United have, and dare he have a training bust up? Oh boy,
become the next Harry Maguire.
Exactly. But
I know this transfer won't work, but I want to see it.
I see that though. They need somebody like that.
I want them to pay 70 million.
But I honestly think Man United, they need an understated centre back. I
mean, realistically, my name on here would be a manager. A serious manager. That's who they should sign.
They should transfer him in.
They've decided to go with Ten Hag. So
I've got two guys in mind, but they do a similar job. You already mentioned Laporte. I've already mentioned Laporte, but like a Laporte or a Nacho Fernandez kind of guy who's gonna come in, and fans are gonna be like, really?
But the Nacho Fernandez thing for Man United fans, they will see it as the same thing as Varane, but worse.
So that's what they will see it as. They'll be like, really? oh, I don't know if he really moves the needle for me. Is he that good? He's not really a starter at Madrid. Obviously, Manchester United fans, they don't know ball. But at the end of the day, Nacho will play 30 games and he'll be a 7 out of 10 for 25 of them.
But again, Nacho coming for the paycheck.
All of that will be
Casemiro
true.
thing.
All of that will be true. All of that will be true. But Man United don't have a single centre back that will play 38 games.
Yeah.
They don't have one.
Well, on that, Lenny Yoro, a centre back that they have signed, out for 3 months.
Yeah.
Played Premier League intensity for 15 minutes against Gabriel Jesus, and out for 3 months now. So
this is what I'm saying, Man United fans, and you can't go out and spend another 100 mil on a centre back after you've just spent 62 mil on Lenny Euro, because that's bad. That's bad squad management.
that's why I need them to do this.
Go and get a defender for 30. Go and get De Ligt is a good one.
Mm.
Go and get a defender for 30, 40 mil. Who fans are going to be like, oh, I don't know if he moves the needle. But you as a manager, you as a fan, or sorry, you as like whoever their sporting director, you know this guy's going to play 30 games, 35 games minimum, and he's going to be a 6 or 7, an 8 out of 10 for majority
literally,
of those games.
they need their Ben White.
Yeah, they do.
They need their Ben White.
They do. And they need
and then, but they're not going to
him
find
now.
that because that is hard to find, right?
They need him
but
now.
That's the guy they need.
And the Nacho Fernandez one is only for like it's a poor example because it's a stopgap signing. It could literally only be for a season. He's 33 already.
And my thing with Nacho Fernandez is he could be a good signing and he could be a good player, but I just see it going the same way as the Casemiro thing with the money and the wages.
The worst thing they could do is sign him for anything more than a 1 year
4-year
deal.
deal.
Yeah. That's absolutely the worst thing they can do.
But yeah, I would love it if they signed Bradford.
Yeah. They need somebody of that ilk. De Ligt is a good one, but I don't know. He just doesn't move the needle for me.
Yeah. And we were saying about Bournemouth and how Iriola did such a good job. We didn't know what position to look for. I could look for every position in this Man United.
Yeah.
They just signed Xerxes. They still need a striker.
They still don't have goals.
I could have put Tony. I could have put 2 wingers.
Yeah.
I could have put a holding midfield player.
Yeah. Tony would be a good shout for Man United as well. To be
a
fair,
goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But look, we'll move it on. 7th place last year, Newcastle. This is where I had Kieran Tierney.
Okay.
Close to home. You can't get more north. You can't get closer to Scotland than Newcastle. Playing Premier League football.
You know he gets homesick.
Exactly. He'll enjoy the weather, the cold weather up there. And he's Newcastle quality. Newcastle need a left back. Newcastle's best left back is Dan Burn.
They just slapped 35 mil on Lewis Hall.
Yeah. But you can put Tierney in that.
I don't know.
Dan Burn as cover centre back.
Lewis Hall's not a bad player.
He's not better than Tierney.
But 35 mil?
Yeah.
You agree
Right,
to
the
that?
potential there, to be fair.
Yeah. He's not a bad player. He's definitely not a bad player. I was just a bit shocked about committing
But
to
it's
the price
Chelsea,
tag.
Chelsea, this is what they do.
I think Newcastle, they need a goal scorer and winger. They need... Yeah, they got Gordon.
Barnes.
Yeah, they got Barnes. Yeah, they got Isak. But it's not enough. Because none of those guys seem to play enough amount of games.
Well, Gordon
plays enough.
yeah, but the other two,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Almiron, we know he's cooked.
Yeah. Murphy's not a goal scorer.
But I would go for this guy. I think he plays in Milan right now. Chukwueze.
Yeah. Used to be at Villarreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because he's gonna have a bit of an X factor. He's not coming to be.
I like that.
He would probably think he's coming to be a starter.
Yeah.
But he can happily share minutes. There'll be enough minutes for him, Gordon, Isak, all of them to get their minutes. Yeah. And he plays on the right hand side, left footed. He can create, he can assist, he can burst past the guy, he can change a game in the latter stages.
They probably need a right winger as well.
Yeah. AC Milan and all these Italian clubs would bite your hand off for 40 million.
Yeah. They'd snap that up.
You know. So I'd whack him in there.
6th place, Chelsea.
Yeah, this is easy for me, Ramsdale.
I should have put Ramsdale.
Ramsdale.
I should have put Ramsdale. You don't need to say anything. I'm convinced. I should have put. I had Ivan Toney.
Yeah,
because I know Chelsea need a striker.
they do.
And Ivan Toney to me seems like a Chelsea striker.
yeah. All that weird stuff.
Yeah, it seems like he could
Do
fit
that at
the bill.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Link up with his boys.
Interviews
But
are just beanies.
also, I rate Ivan Toney.
I do. He's a
Like,
footballer.
Exactly. We saw in the Euros the impact he could have.
Yeah.
And Chelsea, I mean, every day I go on Twitter and Chelsea have signed some guy.
Yo, do you know, it's just
every day.
Obviously, I was just coming back from holiday, but you're not wrong. Everybody's saying that.
Anselmino.
I open up my Twitter after, a night's sleep. Here we go.
Fabrizio, every day.
Chelsea, and it's 20 mil, 30 mil, 35 mil.
Unload back to Argentina, unload back to Brazil.
And I'm hearing talks with this 16-year-old have just opened up from Brazil. I'm like, bro, you just signed the Brazilian wonder kid.
They have 6 goalkeepers now. Philip Jorgensen, Petrovic, Sanchez, all these guys. It's constant. And with all this money, honestly, please, Bowley, just go and buy Ivan Toney. Bring him to your club.
That photo, have you seen that photo of Chelsea's
coming out? Armand sent it to me, yeah? I swear to God, bro, at first, I did not know what it was a video of. Because I did not recognize those guys.
Bro, they had to drop Wesley Fofana from the back line. They had to drop him a couple centimeters just so you could see his name. They've got 7 or 8 central defenders. They've got literally just 7 or 8
they
alone.
Left Trevor Chalobah, he was arguably their best. Last season, he was arguably their best.
And academy as well. But I think it's worse.
Ramsdale, 100%. I agree with that. That's a good one.
It's worse for Chelsea's midfield, man. I can't tell you what's going to happen in Chelsea.
They need a striker, bro.
With Chelsea are in a situation where they could be contemplating rotating between Enzo and Caicedo, 2 100 million pound players.
Yeah.
Because the manager has to play Dewsbury Hall because he just come with Dewsbury Hall and he just got promoted with Dewsbury Hall from the Championship.
And the manager's first signing, Dewsbury Hall.
So if Dewsbury Hall is going to get minutes, Cole Palmer's going to get minutes.
Lavia's going to get minutes.
Yeah.
Lavia's the only one that can hold and play deep.
So that means you generally might have to rotate between 100 million pound players.
Bro, they're saying Conor Gallagher is not allowed in the first team building.
Yo, can I tell you something? I've given Conor Gallagher a lot of shit in my time. But it's crazy for Chelsea to.
I've always Conor Gallagher, Scott McTominay. I will always respect.
You have a place for them.
I will always respect in this Barclays Premier League that we know. There is
that's
a
what I
place
was.
For those
That's my point entirely. Is when shit hits the fan, yeah, and Chelsea fans are getting onto the team, and you had that one loss that you shouldn't really have lost to, and the next game we need to put a foot in, show that we're proper Chels. When Chelsea fans are looking around and Conor Gallagher isn't running around, putting in challenges and up in the crowd and all that kind of stuff. Oh, it's curtains.
Rodri has time and space to turn.
Yeah.
Bruno G has time and
space
to turn.
It is curtains. It is curtains.
That's right. Ten Hag's interview yesterday, he was like, McTominay's so vital for us. But yeah, I just think Ivan Toney, I think he'd be desperate to come to Chelsea. I think he'd go there in a heartbeat and I think he'd bag goals.
But yeah.
And on the Toney thing, reports are that no one's come in for him.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Guys are saying he needed this humbling.
He talked himself.
We were saying on the pod last year, do you remember? No more interviews.
Bro, if you had done one interview and left it at that.
Yeah.
He talked himself out of a move. He didn't even have a bad Euros. It's not even like he's gone to Euros and stunk.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a bad Euros.
But to not be able to get a move away from Brentford.
But yeah, the last few I said on Ramsdale, because I haven't said, was just literally, you've signed 6 keepers. None of them are starters.
Yeah.
Go and get a starting keeper. He can play out from the back with his feet. Chelsea fans would love him. Yeah, it's annoying. It will be hella annoying, but Chelsea fans are gonna love him. And he'd love them too.
One Chelsea fan who wouldn't, guaranteed, Ahmad.
Chelsea fans, all fans do this.
But that early August Ramsdale save and fist pump, it's cash money. It's cash money. Get the fans on side.
Boy. The Ramsdale collecting the ball from a corner when Chelsea have been under the cosh, sticking his tongue out. Yeah. These 3 points are in the bag. What a difference you keep.
They'll live off that.
Yeah.
Number 5 last year, just outside Champions League, which probably affects their transfer window. Tottenham fans, they're not happy. But he's not happy with Levy and what he's doing this window. Archie Gray, I think the only one they've signed for 40 million. You mentioned him earlier, but I think we know Tottenham need a right back
Yeah.
because Pedro Porro, he's a winger.
You're moving him up.
He's a no, but he's a winger.
He's a winger.
And for as long as he's at Tottenham, we'll pay Porro a right back.
A right back.
But he's a winger. He's a winger. I've said that before. So I've got Kyle Walker-Peters. Someone who was at Tottenham before.
Bring him back.
Bring him back.
Kyle Walker-Peters is not a bad
Play
player.
left back, play right back.
Yeah,
technically can play Angie's football, and he's not a dickhead defensively like Pedro Porro. So yeah, I've gone with him.
No, Tottenham for me, they need an attacker. Yeah, Tottenham's attack, it looks bleak.
A winger specifically,
like Solomon, Richarlison, Kulu,
Johnson,
yeah,
Werner.
Yeah, not moving the needle at all.
Bergval.
But which winger specifically would I think makes...
They have been linked with Solanke as well.
Yeah. I don't know, but I just feel like Tottenham strikers are kind of like... I don't know. I think they've actually had good strikers over the years. Berbatov and but I just feel like Son is going to be playing up top. And with that happening, I don't think Solanke should go share minutes with Son up top. Like, just go and be a striker for another team. You know, I think Tottenham need a winger. What winger would be good for Tottenham, though? It's so tough to think about Tottenham transfers. Honestly, I just never do it.
Where do you think they need to improve? You said the winger, right?
Ansu Fati.
Eze.
Oh yeah, I know the Eze stuff has been rumored around. To be fair, Pedro Neto would be a good shout for Tottenham. That's been rumored as well. That'd be a very good shout for Tottenham. Impactful, can change a game. Tottenham needs someone who can change a game. I would hate that though. Yeah, he would have to do both his ACLs in the first day. And Tottenham would go and splash 50-60 for him as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think either of those would be a good signing. Now, Champions League places, top 4. Aston Villa have already
made so many signings.
Had the best window in terms of Premier League clubs so far.
Yeah.
Maatsen, who I think is a decent buy, probably overpaid for him, but a decent buy. Onana, perfect buy. Someone I desperately wanted at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I've actually gone, because I think they need a winger. DRB did 1 year and straight back.
That was the weirdest.
Weird.
That is the weirdest thing, because he wasn't even bad. It's not even like it's not like he stunk it up. Prem's not for you.
Because of that, I've gone with a winger. And this might be reactionary, because he scored a hat-trick in a European final. But Ademola Lookman.
Oh.
I think Unai could get a tune. Bailey off the right, Lookman off the left. I think it could work.
That is a good shout. I have actually gone for someone from Saudi.
Go on.
I'm going for N'Golo Kante.
With Onana, McGinn, Camara.
Yeah. Put them all in there. And then you're asking a lot of the guys up top, yeah? But there's some games where Villa they just need to not lose this game. Yeah. And that will be next season. Especially when you're competing on like 4 or 5 fronts. There's going to be some games in there, certain games where it's like, bro, just don't lose this one. And you're going to need a level head, somebody who just won it all. Him and Onana can speak to each other. This is what you need to be doing. This is where I'll be. This is where you'll be. The 1-2s between us. We'll keep it tidy. We'll keep it steady. Not that Kante needs to be a major piece in the Villa team. He doesn't.
Yeah. Well, with all those midfielders, he won't need to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there'll be specific games, high level European football games. Maybe a Man City, maybe a Arsenal, type of game where it's like, all right, man, I'm just gonna put Kante, Onana, McGinn with pace up top.
And we know what Kante's on. We know what he can still do.
And he's just going to tell McGinn and Onana, bro, balls into space.
And he wouldn't just be coming back he'd be coming back to Champions League football.
He'd be coming back to Champions League football, and he wouldn't be pressured to be, obviously Kante, he's already like a fit guy, but he wouldn't be pressured to like, we need you at your best, play. Yeah. You can just, bro, for the 10 minutes, for the 15 minutes, do what you do.
Yeah, for the games that you do play.
Do what you do. And, now that Villa are going to be in these super high pressure situations where it's like, every pass needs to be the best pass, or it needs to be super calculated. Having someone like Kante who's played in World Cup finals and done all this kind of stuff, like when he's taking the ball off the keeper, he's not panicking.
Yeah.
And Onana, as good as he is, he's still very young. Yeah. McGinn, as good as he is, he's not really played. Like the
Kante would give them something they don't have.
leadership experience. And Emery would trust him. Emery could trust him in certain games and certain scenarios. I feel like, all right, man, I've got my best team out there.
Yeah, I think that could be a very good signing.
And they don't need to spend any more money, man. Just go and grab him for like.
True.
just go and just tell Latia, yo, come on, bro.
And from Kante's point of view, it's probably a move that he'd be willing to take as well.
He's got nothing to lose, bro. You're just playing for the love of the game. You made the money. You've got the trophies.
You've done it all. Just see out a nice time in Birmingham.
Yeah,
nice house, do whatever. But third place, Liverpool.
Yeah, I think these are the most unhappy.
Liverpool are the only club in the top 5 leagues to
no one.
a signing.
My Liverpool. I got a friend who's a Liverpool fan. Every day he sends something into the chat and just says sigh.
But one thing I will say about Liverpool is that obviously they played Arsenal the other day, and it does look like Arne Slot can coach a press.
Yeah.
At the very least, it looks like he can coach a press.
Who would you buy them?
So we've said this is abundantly clear.
That's
a
the
midfielder. Specifically a holding midfielder, right? Because I was thinking João Gomez, but he's basically McAllister. That's basically the same player, right? And in order to get the best out of McAllister, play him a bit further forward where he can get goals and assists. So I've actually picked Ederson from Atalanta, the DM, who I saw a couple games of last year with Atalanta, and he looked very solid. I know Liverpool have been rumoured with him, and I think he could come in and do a job. Brazilian. So we don't have to worry about can it translate? Can it translate? Whatever.
I'd go for Fabian Ruiz.
Yeah. I think
I think him and
he could play DM
because you know what it is. Him and McAllister would just do the alternating thing.
Yeah.
And I think that it would work every time. If McAllister's passing to Fabian Ruiz on the half turn, if Fabian Ruiz is passing to McAllister on the half turn, I feel like it works every time.
Yeah.
And then you would the third guy you would interchange. You'd be Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, Endo, whatever the game needs. Whatever. But you've got two guys in there that are quality on the ball. Yeah, can move around a bit. They're not like tree trunks or whatever. Can run around a bit. And Salah and Gakpo and Nunes and Diaz and all these guys know, hey, if I make these runs, I've got at least 2 midfielders that can find me.
Yeah.
That can find me. And
I think as long as Fabian Ruiz could play as a DM.
You think he needs to be a DM?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I agree with you that McAllister is not...
That's why I didn't pick João Gomez. I would have had João Gomez over Ederson, but...
I don't know if they're going to move McAllister up the pitch, though.
They can't be a serious football team with McAllister DM.
I don't know if they're going to move him up the pitch.
You know that as well.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. But I don't know if they're going to move him up the pitch.
They have to.
I don't know if they will.
They
signed no one. They've signed
that's a problem.
They've signed
no one. If they sign someone, it needs to be a DM.
But I think Fabian Ruiz can do enough of the DM job, or him and or even if it has
I'm not saying he can't.
Even if it's an Endo Fabian Ruiz McAllister thing.
Could work. Yeah.
And I think
again you won't be serious.
You'll be better than what you are. To get to the top, for Liverpool to crack into the top 2, I feel like they're gonna sign another 2 centre backs.
They can't crack into the
and a left back.
Not in Arne Slot's first season.
Yeah. And probably another goal scorer.
They're not going to make that. But for me, that's why, because you know how much I rate João Gomez. I would have said João Gomez, but him and McAllister, I think, both play their best football a bit further, like as an 8, basically.
Yeah, I hear that.
But yeah, I think Liverpool need to get business done, regardless. Because it's looking sticky. Second place, as we well know. 2 points behind first, Arsenal. I'm going to let you go first on this one.
So for me, it's really only between 2 to 3 people.
Eze?
Actually, 4 people now.
You didn't have Eze in there, okay.
Eze, Isak,
No.
Frankie De Jong.
We can rule out Isak.
And Bruno Guimaraes. Yeah, Isak, to be fair,
Yeah, we'll rule that out because Newcastle.
they're just not going to, and they're not going to send him in 4 weeks to go.
Otherwise, Isak, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Eze, I think,
Eze, Frankie De Jong, and Bruno G.
Yeah, Eze, I think is the most realistic.
Yeah,
I feel like Arsenal can slap, but you know, it's funny I say it. As much as he is the most realistic, it's kind of got to be done now. Like the talks have to have already got going because like Crystal Palace would be losing both of their star men with 4 weeks, 3 weeks to replace them.
Yeah.
Like the longer it goes on,
Newcastle came in for Gay this morning. Mateta wants out.
Yeah, like the longer this goes on,
the
but
harder it's gonna be.
I think it could be very realistic and it would do a lot for us.
Yep.
But
I'm on board with the Eze thing. But so even with what's looking like Moreno signing,
but Bruno G would still be my number one.
You still have Bruno G and Frankie there.
Yeah, and actually, Frankie might be. Look, between Bruno G and Frankie, I could toss a coin. Yeah, I could toss a coin. Bruno, I think, is more realistic because he's ready here.
I even saw a rumor today that Arsenal still believe there's a chance for Bruno G.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like he's in the Premier League. He's here, so it's not one of those things where it's like, you need to convince him to come.
He would be the number.
It changes everything.
Midfield target.
Other
than Valverde, he's the best out there. He's the best out there.
So, look, but you know what, man? Actually,
I would love Bruno G.
It might have to be Eze because I agree that Bruno G.
Is that who you're picking?
Yeah, I think Bruno G and Frankie would be incredible.
Yeah.
And they would move us from
Frankie next to right.
Yeah, come off it. But I do think that it would still mean relying on Jesus.
This is the problem.
And, X, Y, and Z man to
score goals.
Yeah, to bag mysterious goals from us that it looks tough to see happening right now. Whereas with Eze there, I can kind of think, you know what, if Eze might get 10.
Exactly, which could be enough.
If he had another 10,
Martinelli gets 10 to 15.
If we had another 10 from Eze, and even if Martinelli I think will get 10 to 15.
Yeah.
But even if Martinelli got 8 and Jesus got 5, 6, that's still another which is crazy.
Jesus.
Which is crazy. Yeah. But that's still another sort of like 15 goals that we've added from somewhere.
I agree with you. The guy I had on my list was a guy I've been on about since the start of the window, Victor Gyökeres. Because the only reason, exactly what you said there, I would love Frankie, I would love Bruno G, but we know for the past 2 seasons Arsenal needed a striker. We know for the past 2 seasons Arsenal haven't won the league because they don't have a striker. How many games we were talking about it towards the end of last season? Like we have to work so hard to score a goal.
Yeah.
If we could, and I think if we don't bring in a forward player, so that's why I'm on board with the Eze thing as well. But I've just picked Victor Gyökeres because I do think that number 9 is so imperative and so crucial if we're going to get close to Man City. I don't think that gap can really be bridged without a goal scorer coming in. That's Eze,
the 0-0s and the 1-1s have to be 1-0s and 2-1
exactly.
Arsenals.
Arteta, even after the Liverpool game in his press conference, was like, we need to punish teams.
Yeah.
When we get our Liverpool scored with their first chance, Mo Salah buries it. We create enough chances, but we just consistently miss them. And watching Arsenal in pre-season is very similar to last season, but that is the problem.
But this is also why I like Eze so much, is because I'm not just asking Eze to come and get 10 goals. He's a creator first and foremost. It's not like he's like Victor Gyökeres. I hear it because he's an out-and-out goal scorer, and he looks quite sick.
I think the upside,
he looks quite sick.
Victor Gyökeres is the title.
Yeah, I agree with that. That 100%. Because even if he's coming on to do the Fulkrug job of like, you're playing 10, 15 minutes, but you're gonna get a chance, and I need you to take it type of thing. Even if he is that guy, that's the title.
Yeah.
But why I like Eze is because, to your point, to Arteta's point, like, we need to kill teams. We need to bury teams when we get the chances. And I think Eze can do that. He can take a chance, but he could also lay it on a plate for someone else. He can drop a shoulder, get past a guy, 2 guys, get it across the box, and you're thinking Martinelli, Jesus, Odegaard, Saka, take this, bury this, put it home.
Yeah.
And I love that because if he gets 10-5, if he gets 10-4, whatever,
Yeah.
you know, if he gets 8-6, if we have someone up there who's, and that, I'm just talking prem numbers. I'm not even talking like, you know, overall contributions.
And one thing Eze has over someone like Gyökeres is the versatility.
Yeah,
which we know Arteta likes.
The Rice Eze Odegaard versus Ipswich.
Yeah. Or Eze out on the left in a certain game, or what?
I can tell you versus Ipswich at home, it would be Rice, Eze, Odegaard, Martinelli, Havertz, Saka.
Yeah.
All possession, recycle, interchange.
But my one thing with Eze, and I've said this to you off air, is Eze is good. He's very good.
Yeah, does he move the needle?
I like Eze, but is he good enough? Is it enough? Is the gap? Is Eze coming? Does that close the gap?
I agree with that point. And obviously, the only way to know is to sign him. The issue I have with that is I would hate for Eze to go to Tottenham. And become a 15-5. Start, you know.
But if we had Gyökeres back in 20,
it has to be like one or the other.
But that's why, as much as and I'll say this again, I would love nothing more than to see Frankie De Jong, at Arsenal. They're not going to be the difference, really. I don't think. Because defensively, we've already spoken about how good we were last year. The thing we need is goals in games, half chances, and we've scored.
The Gyökeres rumors they're not going away.
They're still here.
Yeah, we need to see what happens. And as I said, I'm less mad at the Gyökeres thing now because he's not gonna. It's clear to me he's not gonna be a starter. Like, I don't think he'll come.
He could be.
I don't think Arteta would move too much away from the Havertz, Jesus sort of.
But if Gyökeres comes and starts bagging,
see, that's the thing. I think that will happen. I think Gyökeres will
score in his debut.
He'll get minutes from the bench, score, and fans will be clamoring for him to start. And then we'll see him over 90 minutes and be like, oh, actually, I think I want Havertz or Jesus back in there.
Yeah, but the potential's there for Gyökeres to go in there.
Potential's there. I wonder if his game will translate because the Superliga or whatever the Portuguese league is called is fooled hella man before. That's my biggest worry. Go smash out big bucks of the top scorer and comes here and he's doo-doo. But
you don't have that worry with Eze.
Yeah, you don't have that worry.
You know what Eze's floor will be like 8 league goals and 5 assists.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. But I do agree with you though. The upside is if he is this like bagsman, one chance, one goal, crashing in there.
That's the title.
Like Fulham and West Ham and the man that we were even on the off days.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna put that home.
Yeah. We're 1-0 in a game, half an hour left, half chance to Gyökeres, 2-0 game over.
Yeah. Can't lock that off.
But yeah, finally, obviously the champions, Manchester City. And for Manchester City, again, this was one of the hardest ones because they don't really need anyone.
Yeah.
They're stacked in every position. The only position I could think of was centre mid, so I'll just pick Bruno G.
I've gone for Jules Koundé.
Right back. Walker looks on his last.
And Pep needs a guy who's kind of a centre back, but is also still kind of athletic, you know. And Koundé is not like I don't think the world.
I feel like Pep would rather retire than sign Jules Koundé. I think when he signed Kyle Walker, it was needs must. I don't think he wants to sign.
I don't think the world of Jules Koundé, but I think he can do a job at a high level, especially if the team around him is top.
Yeah.
Like he can do the one-on-one like athletic.
I like Jules Koundé. I think he's good, but Pep doesn't want that.
Pep needs to replace Walker, and it can't be.
I think he'd rather retire than replace Walker with a like-for-like player.
It can't be a Sergio Gomez kind of left back that.
That Pep wants.
That's what he wants.
Yeah, he wants to leave it now. Like you forced me to use Walker, I've done it.
And my other guy, because I've been saying this all Euros, Dani Olmo, even though he's gone Barca, I didn't mention him first, but I just thought Dani Olmo had Pep Guardiola written all
it's true.
Left foot, right foot.
Yeah.
I know the half spaces. I know the half turn.
Rodri. City just have so many players in all those positions.
Yeah. But surely at some point Bernardo Silva will actually leave. Like, what's going on?
Surely.
Like, the rumors have been here forever now. He's tired. He wants a new challenge.
We need him to. But yeah, that was all of it. That was our players that every Premier League club should sign. Let us know in the comments if you agree with what we said, if you think what we said is crazy, and who you think your club should sign. Especially Liverpool fans, because you ain't made any signings. So who do you guys want? We'll move on to MVP and Rookie of the Week, and I touched on this earlier. Firstly, the first place we're going to, Pascal Gross.
Soldier, man.
See you later, Pascal.
I got
baller.
So much time
Baller.
and respect for
That
Pascal
comp
Gross.
Brighton put out of all Pascal Gross's goals against Man United.
Come off.
Oh, come on, man.
Come off it, man.
I can watch that for weeks.
Yo.
Left foot, right foot.
Yeah, do you know, I was going to say the variety in those goals is crazy. Some of them, he's just bundled that in.
That one where he drops Lisandro.
Yeah, that's not even my favourite one.
Most is the Pascal Gross left foot, right foot Cruyff turn. The ferocious Cruyff turns at centre. But yeah, honestly, you said, what did you say? Brighton's best ever player.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Bro, when I found out that he was playing with them in the Championship and that, scored their first ever Premier League goal, all of that kind of stuff. Been there for like 7, 8, 9 years, however long it's been. Well, to be fair, when Dunk retires, I'll probably say it's Lewis Dunk. Or when Dunk moves
but
on.
it is Pascal.
But in terms of footballing ability,
it's
Pascal Gross. But
he's the Santi Cazorla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 100%. 100%. And he's been a great servant, not just for Bayern, for Premier League football in general. I feel like because of Pascal Gross, every top 4 team, top 6 team has seen their enemy fall to Brighton, and Pascal Gross put in a 9 out of 10 performance 100%, in that game. Because I know Arsenal have lost to Brighton. I've seen Tottenham lose to Brighton. I've seen Man United lose to Brighton. I've seen Liverpool lose to Brighton. And Pascal Gross has
cooking. Every time.
He's put in 10 performances. He's put in 10 performances.
And for the seven years or so that he's been here, whatever it is, he's played everywhere. From right back, left back,
centre mid,
right
10.
wing back.
Yeah.
Centre mid, number 10, off the front, holding the deep line.
Yeah.
Just pure
got enough respect. And then he gets his move to his boyhood club.
Lovely footballer. Might need to get a Pascal Gross shirt up on here. Might have to.
So I respect that, man. I love that footballing career for guys where it's like you give your all to a team somewhere else, and then they kind of like, all right, man, shake hands. You've done well for us. You've done well for you. Go to your boyhood club.
He's 33.
Yeah,
now,
it's like
good deal for all parties. Yeah. I've got one other MVP. And I'll let you go. This is a biased one, but I've got Edu. Incomings and outgoings.
He's done his thing.
We were getting a bit nervous at one point.
I was telling you about, was it 2 weeks ago? Things was happening.
Like something needs to happen soon. You were like, I'm calm, but something needs to happen soon. And Edu, he's got good prices for Smith Rowe. Looks like we're gonna get a good price for Eddie. Going Calafiori looks like good business. Shout out Edu.
Hear that? Nothing more to be said on that. My MVPs are for I was watching the shooting. Korea. They are brazy.
Olympic shooting.
Yeah.
We should specify that.
Sorry. Korea's Olympic shooting team, men's and women's, man, they dead eyes. You know what I like about the shooting? Because I was actually watching. It came up on my YouTube, like the archery competition, I think from the last Olympic Games or whenever it was, man. And they go like bow for bow, arrow for arrow. And it's actually pretty intense.
Yeah.
Like when you see the other guy get an 8 and you need a 9 or a 10 to win, no margin for error. And it's not even, because when they do the camera, it's like you can see behind the guy and you can see the board and it looks quite close. But it is far. It's not close at all.
Yeah.
But the composure, the intensity, the way these guys just like, man. So shout out to the Korean Olympic shooting team. You're all my MVPs. Shout out to LeBron, Team USA.
Yep.
I am in shock and awe. And we do this every time. But it's so deserved every time that LeBron at 40 is like, he should be the like father figure. He should be the guy that's like, he shouldn't really be there.
The rotation player.
But they're just kind of legacy act. They're keeping him along because he's done so He's done so much for the game, and it's a
USA can't go to Olympic basketball without LeBron.
Yeah, but it's kind of nuts that he's playing the minutes.
One of the best players.
He's doing the dunks. He's doing the blocks. He's getting the
time
assists.
plays, yeah.
Like, how does a guy stay hungry for 20 years to be the best? And this is with the best players in the NBA.
The thing, I completely agree with you. The only thing I say is different about the Olympics is the American patriotism.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
It's disgusting.
with that.
But I agree with that. It is
Like
ridiculous.
LeBron's going out there, he's like, "Oh, USA on the chair, singing the national anthem." Like he wants to get it. Even
But
KD,
you know what?
KD, the most emotionless guy,
Yeah, for the USA.
balling.
Yeah.
Balling.
But you know what, man? I cut them some slack because I feel like they feel like the world hates America or hates.
Yeah.
You know, there's this like
The
us,
American dream.
Yeah, us versus them mentality.
Yeah.
And everybody's anthems are being played, but I just give him credit for like, bro, these young dogs, these young cats, Anthony Edwards and all these guys, they should be carrying you. For you to be playing the ball that you're playing, the minutes that you're playing, KD, Steph, Anthony Davis.
That's why he is who he is.
Yo, it's so beyond ridiculous. He's actually 40, guys. He's 40 in Jan or December 31st, whenever his birthday is.
On a similar note, my rookie, and I'm sorry to do this to him, but Jason Tatum. I was watching that first game, and I was like, "Where is Tatum?
Do you know how crazy it is to just win a chip?
The champion.
To just win a chip.
The champion. Hey, champ.
Going
everywhere, guys,
here.
hey, champ.
This is the problem.
No minutes.
This is the interesting thing.
No minutes.
This is the interesting thing / the problem with the Olympic team is because it's so concentrated with good guys. Like Jason Tatum was tweeting, everybody called me "Hey champ" today. I loved it. Yeah. Steph and LeBron and KD looked to Jason, said, "First chip, huh?" Yeah, I remember that. And all of a sudden,
0 minutes though.
No, he shouldn't get 0 minutes. But at the same time,
and then this is also why he's rookie. Because fair enough, Steve Kerr it wasn't a game for him. Whatever, they played South Sudan.
Yeah,
a lot more athletic game.
Then they gave him minutes.
Tatum comes in. Horrific. Horrific performance.
But he's telling guys I'm cold.
Terrible.
Oh, I had to get my shot. My rookie of the week, Joel Embiid.
Again.
I'm
pretty sure in the last episode you gave it to Embiid.
Joel Embiid. I can't stand that guy, man.
I sent you that thing in it of him saying, "I don't understand why people don't hate me."
Yo, I can't stand Joel.
I'm just a normal guy.
Joel, to bait France the way he did into getting a passport, to then come back at the 2024 Paris Olympics, Team USA.
Yeah, nasty work.
And it's not just that; it's how he's like, I can't believe you guys don't.
I don't understand.
I'm American.
Yeah.
LeBron is, come on, Team US. I'm from Akron, Ohio. What?
Yeah.
All and as you're talking about the patriotism from the USA, they have all these guys' childhood stories. He started his basketball at AAU, but he was playing for X, Y, and Z college. For 16 years of Embiid's life.
Just look at your colleagues. Giannis playing for Greece.
Yeah.
Shea.
Yeah. Rudy's
Jamal
there in France.
Murray.
All these guys.
Yeah. Rudy. All playing for their countries. Lucas, Levine. Obviously, it might be a bit different. Obviously, they might not. But even so, come on, man.
I'm sure Giannis and Joel Embiid have been in America for the exact same time.
Pascal Siakam.
So for you to be doing all of that, for you to not understand why, at least French people like myself, a guy with no rings, guy with no finals and appearances, nothing like that, and I know he's gonna tote this Olympic gold medal like it was, bro. They would have won that with or without you. And that's my thing with Joel. He's speaking as if I can already tell what he's going to be like.
As though he's been to a conference finals.
As if he's done anything. As if he's not
even done anything.
That's what I'm saying.
A conference finals.
And he's going to have that gold medal around his neck. And he's got that photo of him biting the gold medal, the American flag.
I went to the gym today.
Oh, man. Come on. America could probably have taken, and Canada might win this, and I'd love for Canada to win this.
Yeah, I need Canada.
Yeah, but America could have probably taken. They could have said, all right, we're not going to take the top 2 players from every NBA team. And their squad, I think, would have been good enough to win this.
Yeah, I agree.
And Joel's gonna be over there talking about, yeah,
You
man.
just got to look at the players they didn't take. They took arguably
Jaylen Brown.
the third and fourth best Celtic players.
Yeah.
Because Tatum obviously they took, but they took White, Andrew Holiday, and they didn't even take Jaylen Brown. Arguably the third and fourth best.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. It's I do want Canada to win the Olympics.
That'll be good.
Or at least in basketball. But thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed that episode, and we will be back. Hopefully we'll try and be back every week with an episode
For
from
sure.
now, because the season is starting.
Serious business.
Exactly. Serious business. Transfer window still open. Signing still to be made. And yeah, for some clubs, you might need to get back into the Champions League. But for the big boys, we've got a title to win.
For real.
So make sure you're with us, for following us this season, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Peace.